It's the first weekday of the month, at least we'll call it that, because yesterday was Labor Day, right? So looking out to the rest of September, look, Danielle and I love to kind of set the tone for how the month is going to be overall, and then you can follow along the 14-day forecast as we go through 2 weeks at a time, right, as the month goes along. Look, the jet stream has been where we usually start for these monthly forecasts. There's a good reason for that. That fast river of air that flows high in the sky, 35,000 feet in altitude, where you see the greens indicating some of the faster winds. That fast river of air high in the sky, it does steer storms. So if you're near it, you tend to get more storms. It also separates cool air to the north from warm to the south. So here's the thing. The last couple of weeks, we just keep getting jet stream troughs. The troughs come in again and again and again. Look what happens over the next 2 weeks. The first half of the month, we keep digging a trough across the northeast. Now, this means you're certainly not going to have long spells of warmer than normal temperatures. As a matter of fact, most of the east will end up near or below normal in temperature for the first half of the month. The other interesting thing, though, is if you keep carving the jet stream out like this, you can get these instability showers or storms, or when you get a new disturbance that digs in, you can focus some of that rain. But you're not going to get that long-lasting, significant precipitation bouts if you can't open up to the tropics. Well, even getting out toward the middle of the month and a little bit beyond that with the date in the upper left corner, notice that there is a change in the jet stream pattern possible by the end of the period, which comes more out of the south. This is interesting because it would open the door to warmth that actually may make it so the second half of the month is warmer than normal, even if the first half is cooler than normal. The other thing is you can see that would open the door to some tropical moisture, be that a tropical storm or just be it some amount of moisture that comes at us. So that means that it's not set in stone, particularly with regard to precipitation. We think with regard to temperature, we're very likely to come out somewhere close to normal. It may be slightly below normal in some part of the east where you don't get a lot of the warmth that comes at the end of the month. We think a lot of us, though, probably in the second half of the month, start to flip above normal if it goes the way we're thinking. And so that would mean that we probably come out very close to average. There is a lot of warmth still available in the central and western part of the United States. Here at home, the normal high 73 for the month, the normal low 58. Precipitation's where it gets a little bit more interesting. So if it's just this kind of pattern where you just keep repeating the trough and you just keep digging out that jet stream disturbance one after the next, you will get showers and storms when every new one comes in, but you won't get long-lasting, really moisture-driven rain, and as a result, you'll end up below normal on precipitation. Down to the south, on the southern edge of that trough, you get more in the way of thunderstorms. They're more frequent, and therefore the precipitation amounts will be greater. The wild card here would be the tropics, and I only say that because, look, you saw how the jet stream may evolve as we get out toward the end of the month, right? You would almost need some sort of tropical moisture in a pattern like this in order to get you above your normal rainfall of about 3.5 inches. But nonetheless, that's something to watch for. We are at kind of the peak of New England's hurricane season, all right? So we know hurricane season runs longer, but in New England, our big storms, anyway, have either been in the final days of August all the way through about the 21st, 22nd of September. The Great Hurricane of 38 was on September 21st. So that kind of puts into perspective, all right, at least for the next 3.5 weeks, we're going to have to watch real carefully the tropics, and that would obviously turn any type of monthly forecast on its head, particularly with regard to precipitation. You can follow each day along at least 14 days at a time by downloading our app. Noyes says 1 degree outside weather app. You can find it on the App Store and at Google Play. Hope this at least sets the table for you as we head through September, gives you an idea of what's to come. Look forward to seeing you again later on.